Welcome back. My name is Mulligan and this is Xenonauts 2 Kickstarter. Now we do have a new post, a poll this time around, a base mechanics poll. So we do have a link for the forum thread where they go into a little bit more detail, and the very simple poll, which is just stay classic, Xenonauts 1, takes a new system, Xenonauts 2, or let the developer decide. So if you don't know what that means, this one is the Xenonauts 1 system. You have a base, you can play around, and the Xenonauts 2 system, which is more on the line of the XCOM reboot, I would say. So these two are options. And the question is single or multi-bases. That is another question. A couple things they do want to do is have the base power. So every base has to have power in some way, capacity. And we have staff assignments like we see here. You have engineers in the workshops to produce stuff. I believe this is the generator to produce more energy, and the hangar to repair your interceptors a little bit faster the more engineers you have in that specific facility. So they do want to have something similar, which would probably then be here. Now, another thing they want to do is have base storages global. Now, instead of having to micromanage all your stuff in every base, they want to have one big storage which every base can access more or less. So you don't have to manually transfer stuff, which didn't really make much sense. It didn't cost anything. I mean, it did cost a little bit time, but managing all your little loot was a little bit of a hassle. So that is something they want to keep, and they want to keep only one dropship. Now that has led to a little bit of a discussion. So we have this post of Sharon, which is, or was, I don't really know what the current status is, involved with X-Division. So he made a little bit of a post. So the most I get is that the idea is, this is not a development, this is just his opinion, that maybe have the main base in the Xenonauts 2 idea, where you have your soldiers and stuff, which is more or less invincible. And then you have little bases strewn across the planet in Russia, Africa, America, wherever, where you can have production, research, and they can give specific bonus maybe, like more efficiency for workshops, more aircraft range in this example, but they cost more maintenance. This would allow you to have little bases that, if they get attacked, because that is the main point here, that the old system, this Xenonauts 2 system, they wanted to have this because of a couple strategic options they wanted to include, which got cancelled or developed in a different direction. So they have now gone towards this idea, which seems to be more in line with their future prospects, what they want to do. And they can do alien base attacks, in this view a lot better than this, which I can understand. This would be more couple floors you have to switch between, while this one is just one floor which you can angle with the new 3D, 2D mix engines they have. But nonetheless, a discussion were had, and if you want to be part of that, I have the link in the description for the forum post. To maybe have a main, this is Sharon's idea, main base, and have little bases, which means if a base gets attacked, one of the small bases, and the alien win, you are not screwed. You can build up the base again, maybe it takes a little bit time, who knows. At the moment, if I play X Division and one of my bases gets attacked, I have to send my team there, my best team I have, because if I lose the base, I have to build the base up again, which cost me up to 1 million, more or less, which is half my money at that point, and I am pretty cheap what the money is concerned. I'm trying to save everywhere I can. So I would have to get 1 million to build a new base. If I decide to defend and I'm not able to pull out, I don't even know if you can in a base mission, then I'm not only losing the base for 1 million, I'm losing my equipment for the soldiers, my soldiers that I train, because I want to keep the base, I'm going to send my best soldiers. I'm down like 2 million or so, which more or less cripples the whole playthrough, which snowballs. I don't have coverage of that area. I have to build a new base, which takes time. In that time, my funding goes down. I am in a pretty big minus. I have to train my soldiers again. I like this idea a lot more, that you have little utility bases that can get destroyed, but they are not as crippling to lose. We do have some counterpoints from Trashman that flooded the thread a little bit, in my opinion, but he did bring up a couple of counterpoints. As I said, there's a discussion going on. I do like this post. This is from Chris, our beloved leader, how he is promoted here in the forum. Something I've said repeatedly throughout the development of Xenonauts 2 is that the changes to the first game are experiments to be tested and evaluated, and discarded if they don't represent a clear improvement on what they replaced. So this is the, if we go back, this is Chris, our beloved leader. Now that is always a good thing to hear, that he is trying to improve the game, and if it seems that something added to the game is not improving the game, then it seems he doesn't have a problem reverting to an earlier point, like we have here. Going from the side view back to the overhead view, that is a whole lot of development that more or less is gone if you revert. I mean, okay, it's a lot of artistic stuff, but programming stuff is included too. So that is a pretty big commitment. I do like that at the beginning, the first time I got the beta, or the first patch we could play, the game was reminding me of XCOM Reboot, where you had soldiers that couldn't pick stuff up in a mission, they had their predefined equipment, and that was it, which I just don't like. I like my soldiers being able to run to someone else that is the knockdown, pick up his weapon because he has maybe a grenade launcher, and use that grenade launcher to fire at aliens instead of, oh, there's no grenade launcher here anymore, like in the XCOM Reboot, which gives a little bit more variety, a little bit more ability to decide what you want to do. Get grenades, explosives. You have a lot of options if you can decide on the fly. But that is a poll, so if you want, you can go and take part in it. You do have to be signed in. I'm a little bit torn. I do like maybe exploring the idea of having something along the split, a main base and utility bases in quotes, that you can strew around the world could be a good approach. I'm not the main programmer. There could be additional bonuses, like you have scientists in this base that maybe come from Indonesia. They are born there, and because they are born there, they are 5% more efficient. Or maybe if you have soldiers and you defend a Russian soldier, you defend in Russia, he is a lot more, he has more time units because he is pushing himself more, because he is reminded of maybe a city over where his mother is living or his brother, and he's reminded of if he doesn't succeed here, they are going to be the next one, so he has more time units as example. So there could be a lot of stuff with maybe getting the continents or maybe even countries involved, so you have maybe special bonuses there. We will see. If you want to have your voice heard, and you can go and post in this forum, or you can go and take part in the poll. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.